Hello all, welcome to today's live and interactive session conducted by THiNC Institute of Design. I'm so glad and I'm so happy to announce that after the successful completion of design season, now we are here with the best preparation of architecture entrance exam. So for your best result, we will be providing daily quizzes as well as curiosity quizzes and also live session by our expert faculties. So today we are here with one of our main topic, non-verbal reasoning, and Kannan sir is there with us today. So am I audible for you?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, sir. So he will be taking this topic today. So not much delay. Let's start this beautiful session. Before starting this session, I'd like to inform that if you are liking this video, please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. And also further videos will be there in our YouTube channel. So please go through that also. So sir, shall we start?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to today's class. Today we will be having a session on nonverbal reasoning, and in that nonverbal reasoning we will be dealing with a small topic in nonverbal reasoning. Okay, so if you try to analyze the if you try to analyze the design examinations, entrance examination, which is mainly focusing on the JEE architect or any other examination which is related to architecture, non-verbal reasoning is a basic or a very important part that you should be very well versed. So if you take into account the type of the questions that is coming in the examination, for example, JEE Mains Paper 2 as well as Nata, actually the examiner is trying to find out the ability of the students to spatially recognize things like how to recognize the views of a 3D image, how to intelligently recognize the spatial abilities. Okay, so like that, if you analyze the questions, we will come to know that the examiner is trying to understand what is happening, what is your knowledge, okay, what is your knowledge regarding your architecture. Okay, so this is in this regard. If you see the examination, the non-verbal reasoning is a very important part if you consider the examination. So there are topics like mathematics, awareness, general awareness, non-verbal reasoning, drawing, and if you consider all these things, non-verbal reasoning plays a very important part. And if you have good practice and if you have good knowledge in non-verbal reasoning, you can do those questions in a very less amount of time. So as we know, day by day the number of students who are appearing are increasing, as well as the uh, difficulty level of the examinations are also increasing day by day. So if you have the ability to crack the questions or solve these questions in a very less time, then there are more chances that you can get into some good colleges. Okay, so if I say so, we will start this session by doing counting. Okay, surface counting, and if I say, if I emphasize the importance of these topics, like if I am considering nonverbal reasoning, there are different topics, different varieties, almost more than 8 different topics that are available in nonverbal reasoning to study in detail. So for each topics, there will be almost 5 questions each, and the normal nonverbal reasoning also and surface counting also will be having almost 5 questions which will be present on your um, examination. So these questions are actually very easy to solve, but with a proper procedure and proper approach only you can do it under a stipulated time. So mostly if I deal with have seen many students struggling to deal with these kind of questions because they are having difficulty in approaching the question in a correct manner. So in this session, we will be trying to look after some of the questions that are asked in the previous year question papers, and we will try to figure out what is happening in nonverbal reasoning, and in nonverbal reasoning particularly surface counting. Okay, so I think we can start this analysis of some of the questions. And while analyzing the questions, we will be trying to figure out what way is the easiest way to solve the question, and which way is most uh, less time consuming way to approach the question. Okay, so there are different kinds of questions that I have selected for this particular session, and if you analyze this, there are many types of questions. So, and there are many approaches that you can follow to solve these questions. So I will start with the basic thing. Basic thing means if a normal student who is having no knowledge about these kinds of questions, how he will solve this question. Okay, I will start by start doing these questions by that manner, and progressing on. While moving on to the next questions, we will try to do the question in more effective and easier way. Okay, now, so the first question, you have to read the question. If you read the question very carefully, count the total number of surfaces in the given 3D image. So a 3D image will be given for you, and in that 3D image you have to actually count the total number of surfaces. Okay, the surface means if I try to mark it, okay, if I try to mark it here, so this is a surface. Okay, this particular portion can be called as a surface. So how many surfaces like that are present in this particular 3D image, that we have to find out, and the options will be given respectively here. So if you see, especially for surface counting questions, you cannot eliminate the options, right? You cannot eliminate option A or B, C or D like that. Okay, you cannot directly eliminate without counting the total number of surface. So there is only one way, that is you have to count the total number of surface, then only you will be getting the answer. In some other topics, for example, for other topics, there may be some of the option may be eliminatable with respect to some of the options. Okay, if you compare the options and the image, then we can eliminate some of the options. But in case of surface counting, it is a definite answer. You should be able to get a definite answer to get it right. Okay, so our aim is to do this question under 30 seconds. Okay, under 30 seconds we should be able to do these questions. Okay, even if we are able to do even lesser time, it will be very beneficial for you. Okay, so let's start this question by doing this question as a beginner or a normal student who has no idea about this question. Okay, so if I start counting total number of surfaces like this, so if I start from here, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, this total surfaces, it would be, I'm taking it as fifth one, 6 7. Okay, so these are that I can see directly, 6, then 7 which is in the back side, 8, the legs 9, this is 10, this is 11, 12, 13 and 14. 14 surfaces are visible for this figure. Okay, so there are total number of 14 surfaces are visible for this particular object. Okay, so if we count like this, it will be a tedious process for counting the it is very difficult for you. And if I say so, there are so many techniques that you can use for doing this question. Okay, so if I move on to the next question, we will try to analyze this question first and go for the solution. Okay, we will go for the solution here. Okay, so if I start counting the total number of surfaces, like Okay, if I start counting the surfaces like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here I think you can see a pattern that I am following. Like I am counting the number of surfaces anti-clockwise, in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, just to make sure that I am counting all the surfaces, I am doing it in an anti-clockwise direction. So you can follow any method. Like if you count the total number of in the direction clockwise direction also, you can do that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10, this would be 11, this surface would be 12, and this surface would be 13. So here the answer is option B, 13. Okay, so here also I have directly counted the total number of surfaces, right? I have counted the total number of surfaces in the particular 3D image directly, but with only one condition in mind, anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so you can use this kind of techniques. Then method in the next topic also, next topic also, if you count total number of surfaces in the same manner of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this would be 8, this would be 9, and the bottom one would be 10. Okay, so here also I can easily find out the total number of surfaces as 10, which I have followed this method, like anti-clockwise direction. I am counting the total number of surfaces in anti-clockwise direction. So you can also do it in the opposite way also, the clockwise direction also you can actually find out. Okay, so this is how basically a student who is not knowing the methods or tricks to solve the question, he will be doing like this. Okay, so any questions that is coming like this, okay, you can do like this. Okay, so in the next question, this question we will be solving, we'll be trying to solve this particular question in a different manner. Okay, so we will be trying to organizedly count the total number of surface, which is more handy. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we will be counting this number of surface, total number of surfaces in an organized manner. Okay, so for counting the total number of surface in an organized manner, there are different methods. Okay, you can use different methods for counting the total number of surface. So I would suggest, what I would suggest is that visible surfaces, I will first count the visible surfaces first, and then invisible surfaces. Okay, so by counting like this, okay, by counting like this, I can actually eliminate the chances of overcounting or undercounting the total number of surfaces. Okay, so sometimes what can happen is that there are chances that you may overcount total number of surfaces if the number of surfaces that if a complex 3D figure is given for you. Okay, then there are chances that you will overcount total number of surfaces, or in the other case undercount total number of surfaces. So if you are able to classify the total number of surfaces, then it will be easier for you to make sure, okay, make sure that your answer is correct. Okay, so basically what we have to do, we have to do this question under 30 seconds, we have to do this question under 30 seconds or less than that. Then we have to make sure that the first go we are doing the number, counting the number of surfaces, it is a right method. Okay, so we don't there should not be a possibility where we are going to count this number of surfaces again and again. That should not be the case. Okay, so the first time that you count the total number of surface, it should be the correct one. So how to do that, that's what we will be discussing here. Okay, now if we use this method like visible surfaces and invisible surfaces, so what I'm going to do is that I will be trying to count the total number of visible surfaces for first. Okay, so if I can see this surface, right, this one. Okay, which is in the back side. I can see a little part of that surface. Then I can see this whole rectangular surface. This third one is also another rectangular surface like this, right? This is also another rectangular surface. Okay, next, fourth one, another rectangular surface. This is 5, this is 6th, and this would count the 7th surface. Like this whole surface is a continuous one surface. Okay, so there are 7 visible surfaces. Okay, now if I try to count total number of invisible surfaces which are not visible for my eyes directly. Okay, invisible surfaces. Okay, then how many surfaces are there? So I can see this one. Okay, this surface, that is with respect to this particular edge. Okay, then this surface, second one, with respect to this particular edge. Okay, then this surface, okay, which is opposite to surface number 7. Okay, I can say opposite to surface number 7. So the next point is that you have to consider opposite surfaces. Okay, opposite surfaces, you have to consider opposite surfaces. Okay, opposite surfaces. Okay, sorry. Sorry guys, so there is a little problem. Okay, so you have to take into consideration of the opposite surface. Okay, now if I go on, okay, the third surface I have counted. Now the surface which is not visible, this one is actually not visible, right? So this fourth one is not visible. Okay, so if you look closely, this fourth surface is actually parallel to this surface. Okay, this fourth one that we have counted in the visible part. Okay, so again you have to take into consideration of parallel surfaces. Okay, parallel surfaces. Okay, now the fourth one would be the parallel surface. Then next one, this is the fifth surface, which is the bottom part. Okay, which is the bottom part. This is the fifth surface. Yes, right? And this one would be sixth surface, which is opposite, or I can say parallel. Okay, opposite to sixth surface here. Okay, now and lastly, I think I can see one more surface, like this is the seventh surface, which is invisible for my eyes, which is actually parallel to first one, parallel to this particular surface. So in total I have 7 visible surfaces and 7 invisible surfaces. In total I am having 14 surfaces. Okay, I am having 14 surfaces. So the correct answer would be C, 14. Okay, so if you count the number of questions like this, it will be actually very easy to figure it out, because you are organizing the total number of surfaces, then you are looking for opposite surfaces, then you are looking for parallel surfaces which are invisible. Okay, first we will be counting total number of visible surfaces, then we will be looking for the invisible surfaces which are not visible for our eyes, and for that we will be taking hints like opposite surfaces. These are the hints. Okay, hints. Okay, opposite surfaces and parallel surfaces. Okay, so while doing like this, we will not be missing any surface. Okay, so this is a very good approach you can follow. Okay, so there are different types of techniques that you can use while doing these kinds of question. Okay, and if we move on, uh, let me say about this a little bit, like by 14th of the February, we are starting new batch. We are starting new batch. And if you are interested in these kinds of examinations like architecture examinations and design examinations, and if you want to learn from the best, and if you want to learn different techniques to solve or crack the questions in an easy manner, and I invite you to THiNC Institute of Design, and we'll be providing these kinds of classes, online classes, offline classes. And if you have any enquiry doubts, you can actually contact in this particular number. Okay, so I think you are having a good time watching this video. So next we can move on to the a little bit difficult, more difficult question for surface counting. Okay, so this is also another previous year question that has recent data that's having a little bit difficulty. Okay, so here also we'll be using trying to count the total number of surfaces in the same manner. Okay, so again, if I try to count the total number of surface like by visible and invisible surfaces. Okay, if I try to count total number of visible and invisible surfaces, we will get know what is happening here. Okay, so again, if I start counting the total number of visible surfaces like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is 9, 10, and this one would be 11th one, and this one would be 12th one. Okay, so I can see actually 12 surfaces. Okay, 12 surfaces in the visible part. Okay, so basically what you have to make sure that you have to be very careful about the edges. Okay, these are the edges, right? These are the edges. You have to be very careful about the edges which are separating the surfaces. Okay, edges and corners you should be very careful about. Okay, so with respect to the edges and corners for a particular view, you have to select the surface. Okay, now we will start counting the total number of surfaces which are invisible. Okay, now again we will start from the back side. Okay, so here 1, I'll round it. Okay, 1, this is 2, and the bottom side. Okay, bottom side 3. Okay, so if you analyze this question very carefully, there are different parts. Like this is an extra part, like this is a projection. Okay, this particular let me mark it. Okay, let me mark this question. This particular portion is actually a projected part from the actual 3D image. You can actually see that, right? So if you analyze that, the bottom surface of that will be a connected surface. You cannot what I meant is that you cannot actually count bottom surface as 1, 2, 3 like that. You cannot count because it is a single surface that is covering the bottom part. Okay, so you should be very careful about that also. So third one is the bottom surface, and fourth one would be behind the surface. Okay, this one, fourth surface is this one. I think I can say that the surface which is parallel to or opposite to fifth surface. Okay, parallel to or opposite to fifth surface, that is the fourth one. Okay, so with that, which is invisible to our eyes, that I am counting. Okay, now again, if I see very carefully, if I view very carefully, there are 2 more surfaces that are present. Okay, so the surface which is opposite to 11 or parallel to 11, okay, below this edge, okay, below this edge, okay, below this particular edge, I can see another surface, right? So I can name it as fifth surface, and again there is one more surface which is actually opposite to surface number 12. Okay, that would be this one. Okay, that is let me take it with respect to the surface which with respect to this particular edge. Okay, So this would be 6 surface. Okay, so total invisible surfaces would be 6. Okay, so in total there will be 18 surfaces for this particular 3D image. So the correct answer would be option D. Okay, so if you see this, if you see this kind of 3D images, it is very clear that if you are following a particular pattern, or if you the approach of the question, approach towards counting the total number of surfaces, it is very important for your examination, because the total time taken by time taken for doing a question like this is very important, because the time saved in this topic, that means non-verbal reasoning, or in this particular session we can say it's that surface counting, the time saved here can be utilized elsewhere, like drawing and other parts in mathematics, and you may take more time for doing those questions. So for that purpose, if you practice more questions like this, if you are using techniques which are helpful for doing the question in an easier manner, which takes a very less time, it is very helpful. Okay, in totality it will be very helpful for your preparation. Okay, so as a bonus question, as a bonus question, I'm giving you a question which is not that related to JE, but if you practice these kinds of questions, like it is, if you are seeing this question, it is a very complicated question, right? The question says, seventh question says, the two views of a same 3D image is shown below. Okay, the two views are shown below. You have to count the total number of surface. Actually, this question is from UCID. Okay, UCID question. Okay, that means it is from a design question paper. Okay, so basically what I am trying to say is that if you try to practice, or if you try to practice these questions, okay, this level of question, these questions, the previous that we have been doing these questions, it will be very easy for you. Okay, so the more work you give, okay, the more practice you give, it will be very useful for you. Okay, so if you try to do this question, try to do this kind of question, it will be very easy for you. Okay, now I will just try to figure out, I will just try to say how to deal with these kinds of questions, and I'm leaving it to you guys to solve these questions. Okay, now if you try to analyze this question, so they have given that two views of the same 3D image is given for you. Okay, so if I say so, I can say this one. Okay, this one is a front view. Okay, I can say this one is a front view, and if I imagine, okay, if I imagine, and if I look closely, this view gives the backside view. Okay, so this is front view, and this one would be back view. Okay, so if you analyze the image closely, you can see one thing, right? So if I try to count the total number of surfaces on the front view, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 surfaces in the front view. Only in the front view. I'm not talking about any other views. Next, if I count the total number of surfaces on the backside view, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 surfaces in the front view, 10 surfaces in the back view. So you can, what you can see, actually you can see a symmetry. Okay, you can see actually a symmetry in this particular 3D image in front and back. So actually there is no need to count both front view and back view in this particular figure, right? If you analyze the question very carefully in a proper manner, you can see that there's a symmetry in front and back. So if you count the total number of surfaces in the front view, then if you count the total number of surfaces in the front view, then the number of surfaces in front view will be equal to the number of surfaces in the back view, because it is a symmetry. Okay, so like that you can approach this question in a different manner. Okay, so there are different techniques and different way of thinking or way of approach for different questions. Okay, so for in our okay, so for last for our in our institution, we will be dealing with how to do these questions. We will how to do this question in an efficient manner. If in a time efficient manner, we will be providing techniques, and we will be providing solutions, and we will be providing number of methods to solve the questions. Okay, so and I'm not giving the answer for this particular question. Please try this question in your home, and please comment the answer in the chat box. Okay, so for wrapping up the session, we are we are giving this content in our Telegram channel, and you can join our Telegram channel for more content like this. You can see these contents in the Telegram channel, and the links will be provided for this Telegram channel in the description box as well as in the chat box. I think the our head will take over from here.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. So that was really nice session. I hope everyone has enjoyed thoroughly this session and got some insights into how to solve such kind of problems, which is quite important in terms of JE paper, the topic nonverbal reasoning and all. So please note, if you want the content related to this, you can find the same in our Telegram channel. The Telegram channel is open to the public. So the link for the same has been shared in the live chat box. You can get it from there. Now, for all those who are interested to join and to have such kind of sessions with us, you can contact us at 8086 111 216. We have our new batches that are starting from the 14th of February, that is from Monday. Okay, so we hope everyone had a really nice session. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you, everyone. Until we see you in the next session, goodbye. Stay safe. Thank you.